Take a look at this chart. This is every single social media platform launched since the year 2000. Now, many of these names you're probably not going to recognize because they are either region-specific or niche platforms that are focused on a specific topic like academia or gaming. And most of these, they're growing slowly, but they're probably at or close to reaching the height of their potential. Now, while WeChat has over 1 billion users, it's not very likely that the Western world is going to adopt it anytime soon. And many others, like I said, are niche or were never intended to have billions of users. Now, these platforms are struggling or have died already. I remember Foursquare's mayorship system dearly, riding the wave of having GPSs in our phones, but it wouldn't last. These social networks also tried to introduce something new, some form of novelty or cool user experience, but it eventually wore off. I think the concept behind Be Real, for example, is fantastic. Paparazzi had some great ideas too, and so did Clubhouse, but the hype wore off. Their proposals were not enough to establish a truly new, broad, widespread social network like TikTok has become. All of these platforms were just killed by competition, which foreshadows another reason why TikTok may be the last of its kind. The platforms that we have now are giants, and it's just too damn hard to compete against them. And this is big tech, and they've centralized not just the platforms themselves, but the money and the user data. Instagram or Facebook had to raise hundreds of millions of dollars from investors before they could ever turn a profit. Snapchat, despite being a public company, barely has turned any profit at all, but they were chasing blue oceans when they started. They were riding the wave of some new innovation or some technology, and that's what got investors to bet on them. Who would bet on a new social media platform today, knowing that the market is as saturated as it is? In startups, we often talk about pure play. These companies that chase world domination. And they have to do it by making their products free, more often than not, so that everybody adopts them.
No revenue. I'll call you back.
And they need investors to pour millions of dollars to reach that market domination, and then maybe after all of that, they find a way to monetize. ROI.
Return on investment.
Nope. Radio on internet.
And that ROI, in this case, is not just money, it's power too. Just take a look at the political power and the leverage that these platforms yield.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
It's blatantly obvious that this whole ordeal was just politics. The US is by no means the first government to try to ban TikTok, but we wouldn't have been through this whole circus if the government wasn't actually frightened about this platform's capacity to sway opinions and elections. If a not-so-friendly foreign government or a single bro have the power to sway people's opinions through the algorithms that they control or their policies on misinformation, it is a cause for concern. And I agree that something should be done.